It's a windy day here on Brighton Pier. However, it's the first chance we've had since the installation of a Sky Surge to come and check out the park's new Miami, which is sitting down here at the back between the Crazy Mouse and the Waltzer. And this is the reason why we've come. Look at this bad boy. Now, looks can be deceptive. I will say looks can be deceptive. And the reason why I say that is, this is exactly the same model as Mumba Strike at Chessington World of Adventures. Exactly the same height, exactly the same width. Everything about it is identical, even to the fact that it is a park model. Last time we were here, we did see that they'd done loads and loads of groundwork on this to make sure that it could come in. And it's here, but from here it doesn't look as big. It really doesn't look as big. I've actually seen it going round. We've had a little bit of being able to stay to the side of the fence, which isn't normally accessible to people, to see it going round. And yeah, once you see it, you kind of appreciate just how quick it is. Now, it is a 1.2 metre height restriction. We did find out actually that it can be lowered if the speed is lowered of it, but they're not lowering the speed. So 1.2 and then 1.4 accompanied by a responsible adult. And we're going to finally give it a go. It is our first ride on Sky Surge, a brand new ride, and actually the first real ride they've had here in a couple of years, so it is good to see as well. So we've seen it go round. It does look quick. We get a great view over the pier as we go. Look at this there. That's just leisurely. Oh my God! Okay, it's not quite as leisurely. It just suddenly took off. Oh. Okay. So it started nice and leisurely and then just sort of went some. Oh, it's definitely got a bit of whip to it. And here we go again. Oh! Oh, it's definitely quick. So as you look over here at the pier, you can see the Crazy Mouse. You can see the lock room in the background. It's amazing how much they fit on here. With obviously turbo on the left-hand side. As you said, this is the new ride. I tell you what, riding this Mumba Strike, you wouldn't think they're the same ride. I'm not saying Chessington kind of, you know, don't run theirs very quick. But this is also the benefit from having a manually operated one where you can kind of tease you a bit with a bit of slow motion, to having Chessington's one which is just push button. You enjoy the views though, you can have to see them. You just don't get them. Don't get them anywhere else. So you can do a slow T, you just sort of roll back down. Never going to be allowed to do this at Chessington. Never going to happen. And then you straight in and just balance it. I tell you what, it does allow for a really varied cycle. Sky Surge, the brand new ride here for 2025 on Brighton Pier, and that was amazing fun. It came about 2 months ago. It's the first chance we've had to get down here with summer out the way, so we've come down here late October to try it out. Oh my God, that thing's quick. But yeah, we did walk up to it and think, it just looks so small. It looks more like a kid's one, it really does, compared to Chessington's, which looks bigger, but it is exactly the same. But let me tell you now, that thing moves, it proper moves. And the benefit they have is they run this manually. As you can probably see, there's some slow movement, and then all of a sudden you just kick in, absolutely kick in, and it throws you around. That is what I want a Miami to be like. It is an SBF one, just in case you didn't gather, with the amount of SBF signs along the bottom. And it's got a beautiful sort of natural theme to it, sort of city-based theme. Yeah, I really like the look of it. It's got a nice lighting package. I'd love to see it at night. I really need to come and visit the park at night when it's open. I imagine it'll be closer to Christmas now. We'll come back and we will check it out. But yeah, we wanted to come down and do it. Absolutely love that. That was great fun. Fantastic ride. Really good addition to Brighton Pier. You can see where they started slowly. I mean, look, when you look at it from here, you can see how big it is. I think the silver at the bottom probably doesn't give it enough justice, but look at it go. And you balance it and you go nice and slow. And then just tease a bit. I love the fact they can do that rather than just press a button and then it just goes. And off you go. Yeah, love it. Great addition, great addition. Now, while we're here, it would be rude not to do a couple more rides. It is windy, so the coasters are closed, which is understandable. It is proper windy here today. However, I'm actually feeling I might go on the Waltzers. Ah, yeah, let's do it. Is this, or is this not, one of the strangest views you've seen? I kind of think that the blue tint makes it look like a screen, rather than the fact that the ocean is right there. I don't know. What do you think? Because it just looks so surreal when you look out of it. Now, of course, you can't control the spin. I don't know how this is going to be, but I haven't been on a Waltzer for a while. Let's try it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember now. I love a good Waltzer. Let's go this way. Yeah, I love a Waltzer, but it is weird looking out and just sort of seeing the sea. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look at that. Absolutely love it. Oh, I'll tell you what, this thing maintains some speed as you go round. Oh, here we go. So what I like is he's manually controlling it to go faster and then slower to make sure that people spin without having a spinner. That is really clever. Genuinely really clever, really well worked. And it allows you to spin both ways like this as well. And then catch it on the hill and then go. Whoa! Well impressed, really impressed. That is how you run a Waltzer. So that is a lever-based Waltzer for speed purpose. Now, anyone that runs a Waltzer would probably know that the slower you start, you've got more chance of getting the car spinning, and then as you speed up, then you should catch the hills and continue to spin. But of course, they don't have spinners here. Most parks don't have spinners. You only see those at fairs. But he's controlling it, and he's controlling it, and he's looking at every single person on there. So if you're not spinning, he's slowing it down at the right point, just reducing speed, making sure then you catch something and then picking up the speed again so you spin. So no joke, that is the most spinning I've ever had on a Waltzer that hasn't had a spinner on it, and it was pretty consistent as well all the way through. I have to say, I haven't been on many Waltzers this year, been on a few, but not been on one for a while. That was great fun. That was genuinely great fun. Galaxia, we're going to end on Galaxia. This is a really good example, jumping frogs. Now I always say that I don't always like jumping frogs, but I like lap bar ones. And this one is quick. This one bounces good and proper. I think we're next. Oh, they're coming up. They're coming up. I preempted it, but they're coming up. There we go. Look. I don't know everything. These bounce. Oh, these bounce. Oh. Whee! Oh! You know what? These might be the bounciest ones I've ever been on. Oh. The air time is unreal on these. Look at it, get some right height. Whee! Whoa! Oh yes. Look at it go, look. Look at the height these get, look. Even with all the cars full, the height of this is mad. Absolutely mad. As you then pause and wait to drop. Oh! Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Brighton Pier, home of the rides down south. I tell you, it's an amazing collection of rides here, and we really wanted to come and check out the Miami before the main season ends. Now, they are open all year round. So they're not open every day, but they are open all year round. So there are weekends over the Christmas period that you can come and experience the rides. Or most of the rides, obviously, they do have a maintenance schedule. That Miami was a proper shock. It really was. And I knew it was going to be the same one as Chessington. When I caught eye on it, I'm like, it looks so small, but it's not. Not only is it not small, it rides incredible. It's got a proper bounce to it, a proper whip to it. Really, really enjoyed that. Then, of course, while we're here, we thought we'd better sneak on a couple more rides. First time I've been on the Waltzer in a long, long time. That thing spins. He really knew how to operate that. I'm really, really impressed with it. And, of course, Galaxia, which never fails to impress. It is super windy, so I apologise for any wind noise. I say every video when it's windy that I need to get a mic, but it is super windy. You can see from the sea over here. I'll tell you what, we'll walk over just in case you can't see just how windy it is here today. Look at these waves come across here. And indeed, listen to the wind. That is mad. So obviously on a windy day, it does mean you can't get on the coasters for obvious reasons. It also means I can't get on Air Race, sadly. You can see Air Race is moving by itself. It has to be able to park, obviously, to operate, which it can't do in these winds. A bit of a shame, but not the pier's fault by any stretch of the imagination. And we've been on it already a couple of times this year, and of course we will be back to ride it. But yeah, massive thank you for the accommodation we get at Brighton Pier. We do love coming here. We love the selection of rides.